Success is what Samsung achieved with its 2021 flagship phones.
This is not right. This is not.
Because, as you've probably heard, the Galaxy S21 lineup of phones has done less than good. And despite the fact that the Galaxy S21 is, in my opinion, one of the best phones Samsung has come out with all year, they have sold about 20% less than last year's S20 phones and just under half of the sales of the S10.
Those are rookie numbers in this racket. I jerk off at least twice a day.
But why? Why did this happen? Is Samsung dead? Are my removed features coming back? And most importantly, what the heck can Samsung do to fix this?
Is it possible to learn this power?
No.
Well, I think there are three main reasons as to why this great phone failed, and not all of them are due to the fact that Samsung removed features.
When you botched that spell where you wanted everyone to
buy foldables,
we started getting some visitors.
Good morning.
Let's start off with probably the biggest reason why these new amazing phones just aren't selling well. It's due to the fact that there are too many other great, amazing Samsung phones now. Without even mentioning that old phones are lasting longer than ever, most phones these days have reached a point where they'll perform very fast, have a decent camera, have good battery life, and even have nice little extra features like water resistance or good speakers. All of this means that while you could buy a top-of-the-line S21 series phone from Samsung, why would you when there's cheaper alternatives like the S20 FE or A72 that do pretty much the same phone things at a cheaper price? You still get a great camera with optical image stabilization, a flat, smooth, good-looking display, good speakers, and even water resistance. And you even save a couple $100 by going with the cheaper model. I know Samsung likes to give its users the choice of a broad range of phones that offer a choice at just about every single price point, but it also results in these phones becoming so close to each other in features that it is really easy to drop down a price tier and save a bit of extra money. And unfortunately for the S21 lineup of phones, this is really easy to do, especially if you don't care about the design of your phone. And it gets even worse if you consider that as well as having phones that undercut the S21 lineup, there are now phones that outperform the S21 lineup. More and more people are buying foldables, phones that are way flashier and cooler than the regular slab ships of the S21 line. And even though there's still not a lot of people buying these phones, the fact that foldables are outshining a phone like the S21 Ultra only make their appeal lesser and lesser.
Good morning. I really love the incredible energy in that opening. Now, let's talk about iPhone. iPhone has forever changed the world. Every single day, people rely on iPhone.
The smartphone market is a hyper-competitive, cutthroat industry, so it should come as no surprise to anyone that if a smartphone company thinks it can steal some users from another company, it will do so in a heartbeat. It's not malicious, it's just survival. Apple, for a couple years now, has been trying to convert as many Android users as it can into iPhone users. iOS has been gaining more and more Android-like features and customizability, and Apple has been really trying to offer both great value iPhones as well as really powerful iPhones. I mean, do you really think it's a coincidence that over the past couple years, there's been more and more iPhones to choose from at more and more price points to buy? That being said, Apple still definitely tries to target customers that are looking for the best experience that is both polished and consistent. A big leap over Samsung, whose software experience in the last couple years has been interesting.
Hit me.
You cannot.
And as much as these high-end Samsung phones like the S20 series have pushed the smartphone market forward with their interesting technologies, their high price points make Apple's normally high prices seem actually reasonable for once. Especially since the S20 series didn't end up performing the best, and it's not something that's revolutionary like, I don't know, a folding phone or something like that. On the other end of the spectrum, companies like Xiaomi look to cut the maximum amount of corners possible in order to seem like their products offer the best value. These are the companies that slap a 2-megapixel macro shooter as well as a depth sensor on the back of their cameras and call it an extra camera experience. And while these features may not add much to the user experience, they look really nice on a spec sheet, and this really appeals to some customers that are looking for the best bang for their hard-earned dollar. Companies like Xiaomi have been trying to make their smartphones more feature-packed than Samsung's offering for years, with the best example I could find being the Mi 11 Ultra. It seems like it was single-handedly created to destroy the S21 Ultra.
Are you challenging me?
With a better screen, an extra back screen, faster charging, better camera hardware, and better quality materials on the back of the phone.
Don't let your kids watch it!
All of this in an effort to appeal to customers looking for the best valued phone.
I should have left you on that street corner where you were standing. But you didn't!
For the longest time, I think Samsung has tried to fit right in the middle of these two approaches, trying to offer the best value it can for its phones while still trying to keep a polished user experience. But as we seem to always be seeing, Apple and Xiaomi keep on making record-breaking sales, and as both sides eat up more and more market space and take customers that prioritize either value or polish more, it leaves less and less customers for Samsung, further reducing their phone sales.
We're flying out into the darkness to fight ghosts.
What do you mean?
They all die. It's their fate. I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
It's been no secret that over the past couple years, people in the tech space seem to be getting more and more annoyed at Samsung phones.
Introducing Galaxy S21 Ultra.
We are proposing an unused charger.
No more
Micro SD card.
No more?
headphone jack.
This is largely due to the fact that these people, some of you guys watching, really care about specific features in Samsung phones that Samsung is just removing. Removing the headphone jack, removing the charger, removing micro SD card support, removing 1440p displays, removing the MST payment system, not coming out with a Note phone. All of these features add up, and I'm sure that the removal of a couple of these features has made someone vow to never buy a Samsung phone again. And all of these removed features are a result of Samsung just blindly following whatever Apple's doing in order to appeal to the mainstream market.
Courage.
even though Apple customers will probably never switch to a Samsung phone because of a little thing called iOS. All of this just results in longtime Samsung fans and tech nerds alike feeling burnt out by all the things that Samsung is removing. I mean, just look at the amount of YouTube videos and blog posts where people are proclaiming that the real reason the S21 failed is that it removed the micro SD card support. Samsung fans keep on saying that they've lost their way, that Samsung doesn't make phones like they used to, and this, the removal of all of these features, is the reason why people are saying this. I mean, when Samsung comes out with a phone that's called the S20 Fan Edition and it isn't actually for the fans, you know something's a little off.
Look, there has to be another way!
There isn't. They're a danger to our universe.
You're struggling to have everything you want while the world tries to make you choose.
This is all my fault.
So, the Galaxy S21 lineup of phones is a great family of devices that tries to appeal to as many people as possible. But for the reasons that we've discussed today, I think you can see that this jack of all traits persona has actually ended up hurting Samsung and really made it a phone that doesn't appeal to anyone. And yeah, you could blame all of this on the pandemic and also the chip shortage that's been going on for a while, but all of that would ignore the fact that companies like Apple and Xiaomi are still doing really, really good. So, how can Samsung fix this? I don't know. I don't even know if they should. I mean, their A series of phones is doing really good. Foldables are showing a nice bump in sales, and Samsung components are gonna make money no matter what phone sells. But if I had to take a good stab at how I would recommend Samsung changes its phone lineup so that the S series can start getting back on top, I would recommend these couple of tips. Number one would be to compress their phone lineup. Too many models means that each one seems to be battling with the next phone up in the line rather than other companies' phones. I mean, what really is the difference between an A72, S21, S21 Plus, and the rumored S21 FE? If they cut out some of these models, not only would it make things much easier for customers to understand, reduce the need to spread resources thin, save time and money in the manufacturing process, and make software support across this many devices much easier. Number two would be to pick their targets. Definitely make sure to serve a wide array of customers, but just make sure to target each phone to a specific set of customers. Like the Ultra line, for instance. Don't just target it at people that want a good high-end phone that does phone things. Really target it to people that want the best of the best. Or like they were doing in the past with the Note line, target it to power users. People that don't mind things like thickness if it means getting a phone with more features like a bigger battery or a built-in S Pen, a headphone jack, or micro SD card support. This way, Samsung phones will feel less interchangeable and become more appealing as a result. And finally, number three, believe in themselves more. I have seen too many times where it feels like Samsung either doesn't believe in itself or doesn't believe in the things that it's saying. Like I said earlier, Samsung has a habit of removing things, most times right after promoting the feature, and this has always come off to me as Samsung not really believing in their ideas and just kind of being a little hypocritical. And if there was one thing that Samsung could work on in the year 2022, it would be this. So those would be my three little tips. Do I think Samsung's actually going to work on its shortcomings? Maybe. They've honestly done a lot of good in 2021 so far. Fresh, beautiful designs on their phones, iconic and ballsy products like foldables, rumors saying that the fan favorite boxy note design is coming back for the S22 Ultra, and it seems like they're really putting in the effort to make One UI the best experience it can be on all devices. Maybe, just maybe, Samsung can work on its faults, get back to listening to its fans, work on offering a compelling phone lineup, and maybe in a couple years, the Galaxy S21 lineup of phones can be back on top, back at number one, and back to offering a damn good phone for everyone.
What's happening?
They're starting to come through, and I can't stop them.
Thank you for coming to my nerd talk. If you thought the video was good, subscribe like you should. One day I'll talk about the little phone that could, and of course, stay strong. Oh my god, this is how they made black. Those racists.